Hey man, you ever wonder why some guys can walk into a room and command presence without saying a word? They don't speak louder, dress flashier, or make more noise. They just are. And one of their most powerful weapons? Eye contact. But not the kind that flickers nervously or tries to prove something. No, it's the still kind, the grounded kind, the kind that doesn't blink when intensity rises. It's eye contact that lingers a second longer than what's expected, and in that second everything shifts. The room quiets. Her body reacts before her mind understands, because that longer than normal glance says something far more powerful than words ever could. I see you, I'm not hiding, and I don't need to look away. We live in a world where distraction is the norm. Everyone's buried in their phones, dodging emotion, avoiding connection, terrified of vulnerability. So when you hold eye contact, what you're doing is rare. You're breaking the pattern. You're bringing back a form of communication that's older than speech, one that bypasses her ears and speaks directly to her nervous system. And what does it say? It says, I'm here. I'm not afraid of being seen, and I'm not afraid of seeing you. That energy, that directness, it cuts through the noise. It creates tension, and that tension, if you can hold it, turns into attraction, into curiosity, into the kind of obsession that starts silently but runs deep. You see, most guys don't know how to hold eye contact because they've been trained to retreat. The moment she looks at them, they either scan the room, look at the floor, or overcompensate with a cocky smirk. But the man who can look her straight in the eye and not flinch, he becomes different. She feels it. Her body picks up on it before she even realizes it consciously. Her posture shifts, her breathing slows, her heart rate subtly rises, and the wild part, you didn't touch her, you didn't even speak. All you did was look, but you looked in a way that carried weight. In a way that said, I'm not chasing you, but I'm not running either. What makes this so powerful isn't the stare, it's the stillness behind it. It's the fact that you're not blinking away the discomfort, you're not performing, you're just being. That stillness radiates confidence. Not the kind that needs to be validated, but the kind that just is. And women, especially women who are used to being admired from a distance, feel destabilized in the best way by that, because now the script has flipped. You're not looking at her like a fan. You're not avoiding her like a coward. You're engaging like a man who has nothing to prove, and that is rare. It's unnerving, it's thrilling, it's thrilling, it's memorable. Holding eye contact longer also puts you in control of the tempo. When she's used to being the one who leads the dynamic, decides who gets her attention, who gets the smile, who gets access, you quietly reverse that. You take the frame back. You're saying, without words, I see you, but you don't shake me. And that makes her wonder, who is this guy? Because most guys are either too passive or too aggressive. They either look away too soon, or they overdo it with a fake intensity. But when you hold that gaze with relaxed confidence, with nothing forced, nothing desperate, nothing insecure, you show her something rare, a man who sees her without being captivated by her. It also exposes your level of self-control, because let's be real, holding eye contact when you're attracted to a woman isn't easy. Your heart rate spikes, your brain scrambles for something to say, your ego screams to either impress her or run. But when you can silence that chaos and just sit in the moment, just look, calmly with full presence, you're showing that you're in charge of yourself. And if you can be in charge of yourself, she can relax. She can surrender to the energy without needing to lead. That is masculine presence. That is safety. And ironically, that kind of calm dominance triggers a very feminine reaction. She starts to lean in. This is why eye contact creates tension. Not tension as in conflict, but as in polarity. The space between masculine stillness and feminine receptivity. And the longer you can sit in that space without rushing to break it, without nervously cracking a joke, changing the topic, or checking your phone, the deeper her curiosity grows. She starts asking questions in her mind. Why isn't he flinching? Why do I feel nervous? Why is this so intense when he hasn't even touched me? That's when she starts associating your presence with feeling something. And when a woman starts to feel things she can't explain, that's when the emotional bond begins to form. You're not forcing attraction, you're inviting it. You're not pulling her in with effort, you're letting your energy do the work. And that's what separates boys from men. Boys try to win a woman's attention with antics, bravado, or flashy displays. Men use stillness, men use control. Men use the power of not moving when everything in the room says to move. That silent decision to stay grounded while she watches you, to meet her gaze without flinching, that's not just confidence, that's leadership, that's dominance, that's primal, and it awakens something deep in her respect. Respect leads to trust, and trust, when paired with mystery, turns into obsession, because now she sees you as someone who's not easy to read, but impossible to ignore. Someone who's calm under pressure, who doesn't blink when intimacy creeps in. Someone who doesn't hide behind words or flirtation, but who speaks clearly with presence alone. And the man who can speak without saying anything at all. He becomes the one she thinks about long after the moment ends, the one she compares others to, the one who made her feel something just by looking at her. That's the power of sustained eye contact. But here's the thing, it has to be real. You can't fake presence, you can't simulate calm. Your body tells the truth. Your eyes tell the truth. So if you haven't done the inner work, if you're still seeking approval, still trying to impress, she'll feel it. She might not know what it is, but she'll sense that you're off, that your eyes aren't still, they're scanning, that your attention isn't grounded, it's reactive. But if you have done the work, if your calm comes from depth, if your stillness is earned, then your gaze becomes medicine. It slows her down, it disarms her, it makes her exhale in a way she didn't know she needed. The best part? You don't need words. Sometimes you can lock eyes with a woman across a room, and that single moment changes everything. No conversation yet, no pickup line, just energy, just tension. And if you can hold that energy, not chase it, not break it, not overplay it, you become the question that lingers in her mind. Who is that guy? That's all it takes. That's the beginning of the story. A look that held longer than expected. A look that didn't ask for anything. A look that didn't break when hers did. That's not just attraction, that's psychological imprinting. Even in conversation, holding eye contact changes the emotional texture. If you speak while holding her gaze, not in a creepy, forced way, but in a slow, grounded rhythm, you establish dominance, not over her, but over the moment. She'll find herself matching your pace, softening her voice, leaning in. Why? Because you've created gravity. You've made the interaction less about the words and more about the feeling. And people don't remember words, they remember feelings. So if she remembers you as the man who made her feel calm, seen, grounded just by looking at her, she won't forget you. And it's not just about women. Holding eye contact longer with anyone changes the social dynamic. In business, in leadership, in confrontation, people respect stillness. People remember the one who didn't blink, who didn't fold, who didn't race to fill the silence. So eye contact isn't just a tool for attraction, it's a signal of internal stability, of confidence, of control. And whether she knows it or not, whether she admits it or not, that's what she's looking for. Not a man who knows everything, but a man who knows himself. She's not looking for the loudest guy in the room. She's not waiting on the flashiest moves or the smoothest words. Deep down, she's watching for the man whose presence speaks louder than his posture. The one who can sit in front of her, hold her gaze, and make her feel like time just slowed down. And when you're that man, the one who doesn't get flustered, doesn't rush, doesn't overcompensate, you become rare. Because you're giving her something she doesn't experience often. Pure, undiluted attention. Not the kind that comes from obsession or insecurity. The kind that comes from depth, from stillness, from having mastered your internal world. And she feels that. Whether she can name it or not, she feels it. And she's drawn to it in a way that bypasses logic. That kind of gaze burns into her memory. It becomes the thing she replays in her mind when she's alone. Eye contact isn't just about connection, it's about command. It says, I'm aware of myself, and I'm aware of you. Most guys look away because they can't hold that awareness. It's too vulnerable, too raw. But you choose to hold it. You choose to look at her, not to seduce, not to perform, but to observe, to understand. You take your time. You don't let her beauty distract you. You don't let the silence scare you. You treat the moment like it's yours, not hers. And in doing so, you create an invisible dominance. She may not know what to call it, but it makes her feel safe. It makes her feel seen. And there's nothing more seductive to a woman than feeling genuinely seen, without being rushed, without being judged, without being chased. The beautiful part is this: eye contact is always available to you. You don't need money, you don't need lines, you don't need anything external. What you need is internal. Self-respect, self-control, presence. That's what makes your gaze powerful. That's what makes it stick. And when you walk through life with that kind of gaze, not just reserved for women, but for everything, you begin to change how people treat you. People speak differently to the man who doesn't dart his eyes around nervously. People listen longer to the man who holds attention without demanding it. And women, especially the emotionally intelligent ones, they notice, because they've been through too many shallow interactions, too many forced compliments, too many eyes that couldn't hold theirs without sexualizing or retreating. So when your gaze comes from power, not neediness, it disarms her. And in that disarming, she opens. The longer you hold eye contact, the more honest everything becomes. It's hard to fake things when two people are locked in stillness. Her words become slower, her emotions rise to the surface. Yours too. You can't hide behind scripts or distractions. The moment becomes raw, real. And if you can stay centered in that rawness, you separate yourself forever. You become the man who didn't look away when things got deep. You become the man who didn't break eye contact when she opened up. That moment, however brief, lives in her memory long after the night ends. Because in a world full of guys trying to escape intimacy, you became the one who walked into it with confidence. Holding eye contact longer isn't just a social skill, it's a form of masculine meditation. It's the art of sitting in the heat without flinching. It teaches you to regulate your emotions, to ground your thoughts, to slow your breathing. And in doing that, you gain control, not over her, but over yourself. And when you are in control of yourself, you don't chase, you don't impress, you attract, with presence, with peace. With that steady, unmoved gaze that says, I'm not here to win, I'm already full. That fullness is rare, and it radiates, and she feels it like a gravitational pull, quiet but impossible to ignore. So next time you talk to a woman, try something different. Don't rush to charm her. Don't scan the room while she talks. Don't nervously laugh to fill the space. Just look at her, really look, not with hunger, not with fear, but with curiosity, with presence, with self-respect. Let her finish her sentence. Let there be a pause. And instead of jumping in, just hold the moment. Let her feel that silence. Let her feel the weight of your attention. She might look away. She might smile nervously. She might even ask, what? And your answer? It's not a line. It's not a compliment. It's a quiet smile, a slow nod, and a presence that says, I'm right here. That's how you change everything, without changing a word. You don't need to be the best talker. You don't need to dominate the room. You just need to master one thing. The ability to hold her gaze like a man who's been through fire and came out calm. And when you do that, brother, she'll feel it. In her chest, in her breath. In that space where logic can't explain what her body already knows, she's just met someone different.